Welcome, shave fans. For today's shave of the day, I will be using some Italian Barber Eleganza. And Eleganza is a floral scent, and though I'm not typically drawn to floral scents, this one is done particularly well. It's kind of lilac-y, and so because of that, I have decided to pair it with some Lilac Vegital. This is a little sample I got. I got it out of a pass-around box, but I'm pretty sure these samples came from Maggard razors. So turns out that I am one of the chosen for the Lilac Vegital. It's definitely a polarizing scent. We'll talk about it more after we shave. The razor I'll be using today will be the fine Slant. This is the Ultralight, and it's a super duper slant razor. Very light, but gives a great shave. And I also found out today that the handle is short enough to fit into my what I've been calling the dock insert that fits into a round soap puck tin. So I will be making some modifications. I just got to widen out the base there and the spot for the head on this side so it'll all fit. But I'll make some modifications, and then that'll be available here in a couple days for my fine Slant users. I know a lot of guys have them, and they make a great travel razor, but it'd be nice to have something to carry them in. Anyway, so without further ado, I have whipped up a lather with my Monster 28mm. This is an Ubersoft 2-knot and a handle that I 3D printed in bronze, and then I finished it all up, polished it. So it's a bronze powder mixed with plastic is what it is. The amount of lather here is pretty crazy when you use one of these giant knots. They're kind of a lather hog if you don't go all the way with your lather. So you really got to be over the top is what I find. Just gotten out of the shower, so we should be good to go. I'm using a feather blade, mostly because I have one available, and I've used it once. So I'll be using a feather blade in this fine Slant. That may prove to be a mistake. We'll find out. The reason I say it might be a mistake is that the fine is not over, it's pretty aggressive, but it's not overly aggressive. So we'll see with this, feather blade, super sharp blade, how it does. I'll just take it easy and we'll see how she goes. One thing about this Slant, even though it's super light, like ridiculously lighter than a toy light. So I mean, it's called a super light. What I find though is that it feels like when I touch my skin with it and start pulling, it kind of sucks into the skin. Something about that blade angle, that's how it feels to me anyway. So I don't need any added pressure, it provides that itself. All right, great first pass, no blood. We'll go ahead and finish off a second one, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about the soap, about the Lilac Vegital aftershave, and anything else. So one thing about using a giant knot like this is that, look at all this extra that I have. So that's one of the reasons why I don't use this knot nearly as often. And I've actually gone and prefer, this is a 28mm knot. I tend to prefer 18mm knots now because I'm not doing the whole face. So this is just a waste of soap, but phenomenal knot. Can really recommend it for anybody who's doing, you know, full head, face, leg shaves, all that kind of stuff. So I just love this brush. It's the heaviest brush I own. I think I have another little bitty one that I lead filled, and it's pretty heavy too. But yeah, this thing's like 4 ounces, 4.2 ounces, 4.3 ounces, something like that. Really heavy. And I really dig the shape of it. The shape of that makes me happy. It fits really comfortable in the hand. All right, let's see. I'm going to use a little bit of Lilac Vegital from Clubman, and we'll see if I can talk through the initial blast of this. A little weeper there. Okay, so Eleganza is more like a very toned down version of the lilac that's in the Lilac Vegital. And the thing about the Lilac Vegital, so let me just say that this is really good soap. As with all Italian Barber, really good soap at a really great price. So definitely, if you are a lilac fan, a floral fan, then this is definitely one worth getting. So Eleganza. Now the Lilac Vegital, on the other hand, is extremely polarizing, and anybody who's ever tried it can attest to that. And that is because when you initially put it on, I'll tell you what happens to me. It doesn't happen to everybody, but it happens to me. So when you initially put it on, I get an instant burn, and then my face goes numb for about 15 minutes. And then eventually the face settles down and it feels really good. The other thing is the scent, wow, which is really strong, especially at first. So imagine taking petals from fragrant flowers, including lilac. I mean, that's the top note in there, but not just lilac, but from a bunch of different fragrant flowers. You take all those petals and you put them together and you compost them, right? So that scent gets intense. And that's basically what it is at first. For the first 15-20 minutes, that's what it is at first. But then it settles down into this just nice kind of floral with, you know, lilac is the top scent in there. it settles down into that, and then it's really nice. But that initial blast is what people have to get over. So it's already settling down for me. My face is still a little numb, but you know, it doesn't take too long. It just smells good. If you like lilac and floral scents. So some of us are chosen, some of us are not. It is said that the Lilac Vegital chooses you. You don't choose it. All you can do is try it. So I do need to order up an actual bottle. I've been milking this little one for a while. All right, guys. Well, that feather blade in there was not a bad idea. And a little bit of a weeper, but that's it. And now, baby butt smooth up top. DFS down below. That's all I can ask for. I just had a great shave. I hope you do too.